Good afternoon. So today I wish to discuss that critical issue that lies in the intersection of military spending, arms trade and armed conflicts. Throughout my research, I have sought to contrast the theory of the military economic cycle empirically and draw conclusions regarding the factors that influence a state's decision to engage in military conflicts. So in the next few minutes, I will present the findings and implication of my thesis. And the main objective of my thesis was to read and interpret the vast amount of data available on military spending, arms trade and armed conflicts in order to understand the story behind these numbers. So by examining the relationships between these factors, I aim to shed light on the consequences of escalating arms exports, imports, and military spending. In 2021, global military spending reached a staggering $2.24 trillion. And the arms trade, fueled by enormous sums of money, plays a significant role in this equation. Simultaneously, the world witnessed 54 armed conflicts in 2019 alone. However, these numbers in isolation can be misleading and fail to provide a comprehensive understanding of the situation. It is only when we examine the interrelations between these data points that their true significance emerge. So to comprehend the underlying dynamics, my thesis employed the framework of the military economic cycle. It begins with military expenditure, and the cycle further encompasses military R&D, the growth of the military industry, and the arms trade. Ultimately, it perpetuates the need to renew arms, leading to the continuous approval of military defense budgets. I'm sorry you see the graph in Spanish. I just see it now. So my thesis was in Spanish, so but I think maybe you can understand it. So in order to assess the relationships and draw meaningful conclusions, my thesis employed a rigorous quantitative methodology. I performed panel data analysis using 3 statistical models: ordinary least squares, probit, and zero inflated ordered probit. The data that I utilized in the analysis were sourced from reputable institutions such as CIPRI, the UCDP, and the World Bank. This comprehensive approach allowed for a robust examination of the factors influencing military spending, arms trade, and armed conflicts. So let's now delve into the key findings of my thesis. Firstly, increases in global military spending are directly associated with an upsurge in the volume of global arms exports. Increases in global military spending are associated with increases in the volume of global arms exports. Additionally, we can see from OLS results that the higher a country's military expenditure, the higher its arms imports. Moreover, higher military spending increases the probability of a state's involvement in armed conflicts. And similarly, arms export and imports influence a state's participation in armed conflicts, as you can see from the estimation of marginal probabilities. And an important aspect of my research was investigating the specific damages to the environment associated with each step of the military economic cycle. The findings revealed that each stage has distinct environmental consequences. Firstly, increased military spending was found to be directly linked to higher greenhouse gas emissions. We can see it from the results of the OLS analysis. Furthermore, the process of military research and development, along with the production and utilization of weaponry, leads to the generation of toxic remnants of war. These toxic substances can contaminate ecosystems, pollute water sources, and have long-lasting detrimental effects on both human and environmental health. Additionally, the arms trade itself contributes to environmental degradation. The transportation and disposal of weapons, as well as the extraction of resources required for the production, can result in specific damages to the environment, and these include deforestation, habitat destruction, and the disruption of fragile ecosystems. Now, let's delve into the key point of my research. The first significant finding is that the higher the military spending, the higher the arms imports. And this suggests that countries with greater military expenditures tend to rely on importing weapons and military equipment to meet their defense needs. Another important conclusion of my research is that higher military expenditure increases the likelihood of states' involvement in armed conflicts. These findings suggest that as countries allocate larger portions of their budgets to military purposes, the probability of their engagement in armed conflicts escalates. Similarly, my research highlights that higher arms imports are associated with an increased likelihood of a state's involvement in armed conflicts. And this finding implies that the acquisition of arms from foreign sources can potentially contribute to a nation's willingness to engage in military actions. So in light of the ongoing war in Ukraine, it is imperative to recognize the implications of escalating arms exports, imports, and military spending. The conflict serves as a poignant reminder of the devastating impact that such actions can have on innocent lives, infrastructure, and regional stability. The diversion of resources towards weaponry rather than peaceful means of resolution perpetuates violence, exacerbates tensions, and hinders prospects for a peaceful solution. So the conclusions drawn from my research carry significant implications. Advocating for more weapons not only fuels conflicts, but also contributes to environmental degradation and the perpetuation of violence. So in conclusion, my research has shed light on the key relationships between military spending, arms trade, and armed conflicts. And the findings reinforce the idea that higher military spending and arms trade can contribute to a heightened likelihood of engagement in armed conflicts. Moreover, the robustness of the data attained through extensive panel data analysis strengthen the validity and reliability of these findings. So as we navigate the complexities of global security, let us work towards a future where peaceful resolutions and sustainable development take precedence over the cycle of militarization and armed conflicts. By understanding the interconnected nature of these factors, we can strive for a more peaceful and harmonious world. Thank you very much.